Hi, I'm Ellie Walsh. Today is day 3 of the vlogging journey, and today's topic is an interview with your loving mirror. Now, it was about picking somebody that loves you and you love and asking them some questions. So a spouse, a partner, a parent, a child, a good friend. Now, I'm here alone. Now, here's why, okay? I'm not afraid to ask Carol these questions. Actually, we did do this for each other earlier, and it was great. It was great to do it. But I'm doing this with a little bit of a twist today. And the reason, actually, is you can go back to yesterday's video. You see, when Gail transitioned, what I realized was I had to get kinder and nicer to me. That was huge. When I realized I was not so kind to me, I didn't have such a good, loving relationship with myself. So when I talked about diamonds in yesterday's vlog, you know what? Here was another diamond, a huge diamond actually, because I finally established a loving relationship with myself. And what I've come to realize is, well, I mean, it's fabulous when other people love you. If you don't have that loving relationship with yourself, you're really missing out. And one of the things was, you know, it was easy for me to love me when she was shining love on me. So you see, when she passed away, I was really like, whoa. It was easy to feel joy and connected when, you know, she was basically telling me how wonderful I was. And then I had that gap. And then I started realizing my own self-talk. You ever do that? You ever catch yourself calling, like saying, I'm such a jerk. Oh, what an asshole I am. Okay. And what I realized was I talked to myself. I would never talk to another human being like that. I would never beat up another human being the way I so easily beat me up. So I wasn't having a good relationship with myself. And I've established that. That was all part of that process of giving myself a break and stopping that calling myself an asshole and, you know, just being kind to myself. Having unconditional love for yourself is huge. It's huge. And I can attest to how wonderful it is. It's such a gift. So the questions, and I'll have them written here, because I think you benefit from doing it with a partner, as well as really looking at this and doing it with yourself. So some of the questions seem silly asking yourself, but it's important. What do you get out of me being in your life? And that is significant for me, Ellie. Like, what do you get, Ellie? What do you get out of Ellie being in your life? It's like, I feel like I'm a whole being now. I finally participate fully. And there was a time, you know, that chatter in my head would always be telling me, you're messing this up, you're doing that wrong. What the hell is wrong with you? You know, so having that loving Ellie with Ellie, it has been huge. It has been so fulfilling. Such a connection has come from it. What have you gained from our relationship? And, you know, I mean, what I've gained is, again, that wholeness, that really feeling okay. Now, I'm not telling you that I don't make mistakes, and you know, there are still times I go, you know, but I'm so much quicker to tell myself it's okay. It's okay. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. You know, one of my favorite sayings that I say is, and it came about because of me, is there are no mistakes, only discoveries. The third question is, what would be missing if I weren't in your life? Well, I know what would be missing because I lived it. You know, I lived that life that was not, I was not a whole. I was not totally connected to myself. I was I was doing things and beating myself up doing it. So how do you have a loving relationship really with the world around you if you don't have one with yourself? And what do you see as my strengths? And I guess I see my biggest strengths as being willing to step back and shift the perception and not judge. I don't want to judge somebody else, and I don't even want to judge myself. I really don't want to judge. It's just like, okay, right now, this was the best you were able to do. Later on, you might be able to do it better, but right now, this was the best. And being, kind and okay with whatever's going on. Whatever's going on is going on. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate our relationship? And I wanted to say a 10 plus. And some days it's a 10 plus. Some days it's a 15. And, I don't think it ever goes below a 7 or an 8. There are some days that I catch that old mindset kick in, that I'm kind of like, poking at myself saying, you're so stupid, how could you do that? And then I catch it today, though. So just that awareness level of catching it and realizing, okay, I don't have to beat me up about it. So it's not always a 10. And what can you do to make it? And making it a 10 is the last one is, what can I do to make it a 10? And to keep it a 10 for me is keeping my awareness level up and just realizing that, you want to know what? We're all fabulous. I'm not any less than anybody else. And years ago, I believed I was. And I'm not any better than anybody else. We're all magnificent creators. I truly, truly believe that. So that's my loving mirror for today with myself, so with a little twist. And if you want to play the vlogging journey, I have a link down here. Come on over.